every stream. Looking like the YouTube thing is coming back. Yep, there it is. Okay. Good. Like we're okay. All right. Well, I guess we will attempt to launch D4 again. See what happens. At some point, I mean, nothing's really wrong with my PC. Like, I have no issues when I play nor stream literally any other game. It's only D4. But at some point, I do want to, build me a new system, but I can't right now because RAM prices are stupid. So it'll be like another year, maybe. Maybe. It's lagging again. I wonder if it's did they preset me? Huh?
I wish Feyera could see this place. Oh, I do miss her.
Let's go somewhere else. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's literally the game. Okay. Alright, we'll try this. Keyword is try.
All right, traveler. Fare thee well.
At that. Get some whatchamacalls. Got let up on these. Probably put some stuff in my stash. Not only that. There we go. This weapons for some reason never save.
Elixirs brewed to order.
Which ones do I want to get? Sealing spices. Like 40 of these, see?
Ah, good batch there.
I'll take a dance. Yeah, I think I got mostly. exactly what I want here. And I guess we'll just jump straight into the tower, since that's the only thing I'm really interested in at the moment. Probably do some test runs on like the lower levels. Let's see what levels are actually open, because I haven't done any pushing on pit, so I wonder what tier is gonna let me open. Oh, okay, so 105 is the highest gonna let me open, because I've only done 100. Yeah, that's fair. All right, YOLO. Welcome back. Trying.
Macro by a boy raided my stream.
Dude
with
raised at
97
the
views.
beginning of my very first tower attempt. What timing, Macro?
You know how we do. Drop my new beat for these new viewers.
Sheezy out. What up, Macro? I'm gonna try to stay on as long as I possibly can, but I'm having issues with being able to stream this game specifically, and the more so in the recent than any of the times. I don't really know why, but quite a bit of stuttering, random crashes of the stream and the game itself. I haven't really been able to figure anything out, so it's been kind of annoying. But yeah. Anyways, welcome in. This is I'm doing my very first tower attempt today. At least I was getting ready to. But I have to exit the circle, huh? He said no pressure. Oh, definitely no pressure. I'm not even playing the meta build, so there is zero pressure on me for sure. Yeah, thank you. Also, what kind of map is this? It's like a hallway. Really appreciate the follows. Okay, so hallways are terrible for me because if my basic attack hits a wall, I don't gain resource, and then I'm in a lot of trouble because then the build doesn't function. What up, Eric? Hey, why are there goblins in here? I just realized I didn't pick up any of the orbs. That explains a lot. Totally forgot about him. All those glows just in there. Matias #1. Yeah, he should be. Have you seen his gear? Like his gear is literally like 99% the planner. He told us in the rogue chat on maxroll, he was like, I'm bad at this game if I don't get rank 1. He said I have to be real bad at this game if I don't get rank 1. Okay. I guess my thing is, how do I make use of those pylons in this like hallway of a map? Yeah, these guys down here didn't follow me. I wonder why. We got that D3 AI too for these towers. And I'm forgetting to pick up the orbs again. Orbs are still anti-rain of rails, by the way. I'm not trying to wait around to pick up freaking orbs. Fast, not so much progress. I figured. I guess figured maybe the trash will come with me, but they're supposed to be more aggressive, right? That's kind of the selling point, yeah. The power pollen. If I can get them all gathered around this power pylon. Yeah, I can't gain any more progress until I kill this power pylon, right? Otherwise, I'll mess up stuff. Yeah, almost boss. Come on, follow me. Come on. There you go. Okay. So, what I learned is pick up the orbs. But more Goth is going on. Wait, was that the explosion that got me or what? What was that? Be sure to follow him. Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks of like certain mob types not following. This dude right here does not want to come along. Wait, where'd that come from? It could be the fact that I do knock them down a lot, like random rails, so it's like actually kind of hard to get them to follow. So, but then when they're unstoppable, though, they should be just running at me and trying to kill me, right? Like that should be the playbook, right? Power pylon is so early. Yo, that pylon has so much health. What in the world? I thought they were gonna drop that a little bit, like they were gonna fix that. So it's not so like tanky. Yo, Peacha was not lying about this pylon mess. Literally, it might take you the whole rift just to unlock the pylon. Like, what's the point of that? And the thing about it is that I actually benefit in this build for that, because like I hit everything with such a wide AoE, so it's like I should always be hitting this the pylon every time, and even I'm just like, I'm kind of invested now though. No, actually, it's like not even halfway. Yeah, like not even halfway. Because is it 130? What do you mean? I'm kind of already invested now. I'm gonna I'm gonna take this down. I don't care. I know this is a fail for sure. Unless maybe if I can get that pylon down enough and somehow spawn the boss with enough time, like OD3 days. Supposed to be getting this power pylon now, right? That's like the whole point of this experiment. Is the pylon crowd controlled as well? Like, or like, is it unstoppable technically, or does it take full damage? Okay, so. We just start over. But yeah, that power pylon took forever. It does not get CC damage, I suppose, but not also unstoppable. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of. It seems like there's a lot of lag in town. I don't know if it's like laggy in game for you guys. Like when I'm actually doing a run, is it laggy for you guys? Yeah, I've never seen this map before, so. There are frame drops, okay. Although my OBS isn't saying any frame drops at all. Alright, so I guess the idea is, like, do I bother with pylons in? Like, I imagine like you need to at some point, like the ultra high clears, right? Or the top end of your, you know, whatever build you're playing, but. I'm gonna try to follow me. Yeah, I'm assuming the red dots on my mini map are the elites. I almost dashed right into that. Okay. Is it me, or am I just getting shitty mob types that don't want to follow? Because I was watching Woody play, and like they were following him all over the map, like it was nothing. I literally walked like 3 steps, and they're just like, "Screw that guy." it's just like we're not. It's like, screw that guy. We're not chasing that guy. And I really can't do anything if they don't follow me. So, like, they're low. They're unstoppable, so I can't really like do much. I mean, yeah, see? He's way over there. Yeah, I don't know. Speed pylon. I'm gonna go ahead and really tell you already. I'm not really feeling this at all. It does remind me a lot of Diablo 3, just without the quality of life. I guess. It's almost like we're starting kind of at the beginning of the GR days. Not like literally, but in terms of like quality of life. Like when GRs first came out and we were pushing and we had all these like crazy inconveniences. And then over the years and years they made changes and stuff, and it's not great, but it was definitely better than what it was towards the beginning of this. Hey Morgoth, are you feeling alright, man? You doing okay? Sounds like you're typing drunk again. I remember when Mika used to like delete your chat because you were kind of going crazy for a bit. Just keep it tame. You're fine. Call me. Bob, what's going on, man? I'm enjoying season 11. Not bad, honestly. Okay, come on, man. Alright. Come on. We're not gonna play this game of will they follow, will they not follow. Because if my runs are depicted on whether or not these guys follow, I am not interested. Like I'm literally fighting the mobs to try to follow me. Hey Morg, I'm gonna need you to figure out some new material next time you enter my stream, sir. I think every time you come on my stream, it's the same material. I get it. I play Rogue and I play Rogue all the time. All the time. But you know that going in. You know that going in. Because I'm always Rogue. But you, like I said, you know this going in. I was always Demon Hunter. Always Rogue. Right? You just gotta come up with some new material, sir. Something new, something different. You come in, talk about your favorite people. Like you have a playbook. You come in, you know, you compliment the streamer, then you start making comparisons. Then you talk about who's your favorite. Then you talk about how I'm always playing Rogue. Right, and then somehow it turns into me not saying anything at all, but apparently you say, so you think you're good, huh? You know, and then it gets very jumbly. I don't know if that's when the alcohol starts to kick in a bit, and like stuff starts to really not make sense. But at least the start of your playbook makes sense a little bit, but it's like the same thing. And then it kind of goes on and on. And it just gets worse and worse as you continue to keep, you know, typing. And then it's like, yeah. I don't mind. I mean, if that's it, if that's how you want to communicate, I am totally fine with it. I'm totally fine. I guess we'll say, especially for the moderators and the viewers, if you're gonna type a lot, which you are right now, like give them a little bit different content, give them something to respond to. I get you. So you're saying I'm right? The whole thing I just said was a. Okay. I feel like I'm forced to like stand and like kill these guys where they're at. See, he's unstoppable. I can't pull him. Yeah, he just stays there. How are the Saints? Not awful. I got mostly everything I want for the push setup. Not for my speed setup per se, but for the push setup, I got mostly all the things I kind of can get except for exploit. I don't have exploit, which I guess would do pretty well here, I think. But everything else is mostly what I got. Yeah, I'm forced to like fight these guys. Yeah, this could make or break whether I clear. A couple of seconds I did. Oh wait, gotta grab these. There you go. Yeah, if I can't pull them and I kind of just have to stand here until they die, it's kind of a little boring, unfortunately. At least the pull part and strategizing how to get them to follow you around the map or whatever is like the fun part of the pushing process of me. But this is gonna, you know, mimic Diablo 3. But if I can't pull them and I gotta do this feels exactly like Pit. Except for like the real bosses are the pylons that you have to decide whether you want to, like, you know, fight or not. pull the power with me. If only I can. Oh, wrong way. Oh, wait, no. There's something's over there. Oh no. Okay, that's all I got left. Wait, is that a goblin given progress? Okay, I did not know. Interesting concept. Okay, I'll bite. I'll follow. Don't know if this is even a good idea or not, but I'll follow. Just because you seem interesting. It's gonna explode, I'm gonna die. Oh. It's what? Bro, he was taking like no damage towards the end of that. Like what? Yeah, that was not worth. That actually put me behind. Yeah, it seems like the string is lagging too as well. I'm lagging a bit too. It's not really affecting my gameplay, but definitely the fun factor a little bit. Exploit best retribution. Which one you pick? One works for bosses though. Yeah, that's a good question. I have retribution because it rolled on the frost the frost burns, but Fist of Fate. That pylon. Alright, let's exit. Let's leave. Because surely I'm not going to finish this. One positive thing I will say is that I do like the fact that the timer is 10 minutes and not 15. Also triple check, make sure I didn't put on anything too weird. Don't think I messed up anything. Yeah. Pretty good overall. Yeah, and we're good. Yeah, there's so much lag though. Dude. I wonder if I need to actually invest in like a streamer PC just for streaming. But that seems like a big investment for one game. Let's see if I can just pull without like actually doing any actual damage. We'll try this strat this time. Come on over. So I wonder, like, if they take after they take a certain amount of damage, they don't follow. Because they were following when I didn't, like when they were like towards near full health, they were fine. And after a certain amount of damage, they were just like, nah. I'm gonna try to test that theory later. Okay, we got a pretty big Christian normie. Okay, power line. Yeah, I gotta keep shooting to keep up my barrier so I don't die trying to grab everything. I grab a lot so I can get around the pylon. This feels like a really big waste of time, but it's almost like you kind of have to. Come on, get around the pylon, and let's go. Pylon seems like it's barely been scratched. Okay, let's pull these guys. I would try to pull these guys back to the pylon, but that's probably not worth it as a shield. Okay, these guys didn't follow down here. You're supposed to follow, sir. Oof, almost died. How's this guy still shield? Appreciate the sub. Okay, this is not. This is. That's a feature of the sub. Let's take a while. I already wasted time on them, might as well. Alright. That was not oh, there's nothing else in this floor? Not gonna make it. Alright. Back out. Oh, okay. I wonder if that circle spawn it like specifically spawns enemies like that. So I probably should have stepped in that circle way back. What are my current PC specs? It should be in the description. There might be like one or two things wrong, but like they aren't like important things. Like my headphones might be a little bit different than what. No, my headphones should be the same. My monitor's different. Like my monitor is probably the only thing that's not updated. What's funny is that I could stream like Monster Hunter Wilds with no issues. And that's a considerably more demanding game. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely like put on like some like more demanding games than this for sure. It is. But it's just like it seems like I have different issues each. I don't say each time, but like I don't run into the same consistent issue all the time. It's like different. Today it's the stutters. Usually it's like maybe like some crashes or whatever, like a random crash with no error messages or anything. I'm gonna die. Yeah, it's not really just the random crashes of the game. Like OBS will like randomly crash alongside it as well. But it only really does that with Diablo 4, not any other games. I can literally be like playing with like medium, maybe high settings ish. No ray tracing, nothing special. And my PC specs are way more than capable of being able to handle those settings. I kind of just went on autopilot for that last part. I guess I'm at a point where I gotta play an open map, whatever that is right now in towers. Not open enough, or maybe. So I don't have the resources to keep poking like that because the build literally works on shooting 3 basics and then a random arrow. So after the 3rd basic, I am out of resources and I can't shoot, and then I lose my barrier and then I die. But actually, I guess with Dark Shroud really not really working with barrier, I guess it's not that big of a deal right now. But okay, so a map like this, okay. Let's see how big of a pull I can get before I inevitably gonna be like, I'm gonna die. Okay. I feel like I'm actually making better progress off the trash. Ironically. I wonder, can you run out of mobs in tower? I I might just pull shit from the trash and then like move. That's a really good pull though. But you guys aren't gonna follow. I'm not wasting time on you. If I should have left you alone. Oh, you don't even give me anything at all. That's totally a waste. No. That was bad. Ah. Yeah. I know I'm being greedy. I kind of feel like I have to be. Alright. A lot of range dudes. Loki, what's going on? Alright. Alright, so I have a better idea of what I need to do. Ideally, I think it's going to come down to, do I want to do it? I don't like the idea of having to run past everything like that. I'd rather be able to like shooting a bit and then strategically pull. But I don't really have a choice but to like do that before I start shooting. Otherwise, for some reason, they don't want to follow. Hey Morg, you've been talking all this time and you haven't followed now once? Sir. Sir, you've been talking like this for years. Okay, these guys are following a little bit. Oh, okay, no, what? Spoke too soon. What do I think of the tower? Still assessing it. I kind of already have my opinions on it, but I'm gonna keep at it for a little bit. I will say I'm not really a fan, to be honest. Okay, so I guess the scorpions kind of do follow. That should have do like really screwed up things for me. The pylons are way too tanky, by the way, to be of use in terms of how the maps are laid out. Because like you don't really go backwards on the map like that to strategically use the pylons in the back like that. So it's kind of hard to like. Gosh, whatever's hitting me hurts. That's fine. If I gotta move, I'm cool with that. I was dead. Oh, yeah. That was a thing. I kind of lost momentum here, so I don't know if I want to finish these guys off or I want to go to the next pack. I'm assuming the guys. Okay, these guys in the back don't want to follow. I still got guys down here who did not follow. Okay. So the beginning was fine. Got to the middle and it was a little weird. He was underwhelmed by the time the boards worked. He wasn't in top 1,000. So you said you did it once. Well, I think a lot of people were like kind of like actively going after this content right now. So you have a lot of people that are just gonna go at it day one. How do I phrase tower at the moment? So they're trying really like they're really trying to bring the D3 spark the D3 GR spark into D4 in terms of a competitive thing, as if people who play D3 GRs and push on D3 GRs actually enjoy doing what we did then. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some excitement. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there were some parts of GR pushing I did like. But I think overall the activity itself, I still complained about it then. The amount of fishing, the amount of like reliance on like the conduit pylon and all that stuff like that. There were definitely problems. And I think the reason why you hear a lot of people talk about, bring GRs back is because what we have now in D4 is unfortunately just objectively worse than what GRs were then when we were complaining. Because that I think we didn't appreciate that it was a bit more polished in D3 despite all the shortcomings that it had. But the thing is that it had its shortcomings, and we forget that those shortcomings are things that we did not like when we played Diablo 3. So to try to like so here it's just like going several steps back to bring in a similar feel, but just like the game, like the game itself just doesn't really warrant this kind of style to make it feel good right now. The whole tower thing, like it felt fine in D3, it just doesn't feel good in Diablo 4. The unstoppable mobs being the way they are, where you either deal damage or you don't deal damage. At the time, they don't follow. Most of them really just don't really feel like following you for whatever apparent reason. You kind of have to start the pull early, and just kind of poke at them and just hope that they do follow you at the beginning before you start attacking, because you cannot like. It's hard to really pull them through the thing unless you have a pull yourself, unless you can just yank them across, and not a lot of builds or classes have, that sort of thing. So it's just doesn't it can be fun for some classes, and then and other classes it just feels like a slog. Now of course I'm just speaking for for Rogue or whatever, but like yeah, it just kind of missed the mark for me, man. Like it literally is like GR. It has the wannabe feel of GR, but just like years behind. You know what I mean? Like years behind, like almost kind of like where GRs were at towards the beginning of its lifespan, without the quality of life and stuff. So it just feels Tower just feels misplaced in D4 as a competitive like mode per se. Not everything in D3 is gonna work in D4 in the same way, and I think as they're trying to put more emphasis on Tower, and I understand this is beta and stuff like that, but like I think the devs truly kind of like have to really figure out why it was actually somewhat fun in D3 to play high GRs like that, and they haven't really captured that yet. I mean, the whole pylon things is so weird to me because, like, especially some of the placement. Like, I guess the placements are fine, but it's like you will almost always kill whatever it is that is around you before you kill the pylon. Like before you open up the pylon, like you have to literally bring everything to the pylon, which is fine. I think that part is fine. But the idea of you bringing everything to the pylon twice and you still cannot access the pylon, and you have to spend another 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds attacking the pylon and hoping that you get it while everything else is already dead, doesn't like make any sense in terms of a strategic or a strategy. It just yeah, it's just kind of odd. It's odd. Some of the choices are a little odd. But for me though, in terms of fun factor, right now I'm lagging like crazy, as you guys can see in my stream. So like it's kind of hard to move and stuff like that. So I know that kind of affects some of my fun factor. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. Maybe it's a patch thing. I have no idea, but it's kind of rough. But I think just in general though, like tower in general for me, not something I'm like interested in right now. Like, um, yeah, it's just like uh, I don't I don't know where they're headed with this tower thing. I feel like they have a long way to go before this becomes a feature that I personally would find fun. Others would disagree, and that's fine. I know some people who just are glad that there is a competitive mode with actual in-game leaderboards, like leaderboards that are actually inside the game now, which is fine. You know, for those people, if they just enjoy competing and can care less about the gameplay and how it feels, all good, right? But like when I log in to play the game, I log in to play to have fun and enjoy what I'm doing, and like I'm not really enjoying the tower at the moment. Just not. Like I said, I just don't think this game is really built for what they're trying to do with the tower. Unstoppable mobs are just unstoppable mobs is just it's just such a weird concept, man. Like for your damage to drop off so much for most classes, really. It's just such an odd thing. It's like, yeah, I'm doing damage now and then I'm doing like no damage at all, which is I know, same thing as Pit, but I don't know. Like I farmed a bit for sanctifications, failed a ton. On the items and stuff, and I don't enjoy using said stuff that I acquired to play in the tower right now. GR that gives no loot. I mean that part is fine. I mean they already told us already. They already mentioned that like tower is just literally just for leaderboard and that's it. Which I think is fine because I mean that allows them to curate certain maps that are specific for competitive play, quote unquote, right? So like, I like that it's not like a farming thing because all you're gonna do is stay there if the loot and stuff and the XP is way better, right? Then you're never gonna do anything else. Then we're back to the same square one problem with the way that the end game works. So I think the way that tower being completely separate from everything else in the game and it's just for leaderboard prowess, that's fine. I think that part is fine. But I don't know. I was like part of me was like not like really hyped for tower, but I'm just like, you know what? It's different than Pit. So, let's go, right? Let's go for it. A little different than Pit. Or I put it this way, it can't be any worse than Pit. And well, I don't know if I would call it worse than Pit. I think it has its own separate. I think it has its own set of problems that are ironically similar to Pit. So, I guess that's kind of where I'm at with that. So fish too. I mean, yeah, there is fishing involved. Doesn't seem like there's that many different maps though, so it's not. They even mentioned that there'll still be some fishing involved, like you will be doing or have to do some fishing. They kind of did mention that, so I kind of expected that, but I don't know. Sato feels. You said you had fun doing it in the 2 or 3 man today earlier, Sato. But like 70% of the fish is around pylons. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's meant to be that way. Now, did you have fun with the activity or did you have fun getting rank 1? There's two different things. Like, did you have fun getting the rank, or did you have fun playing playing the game? I feel like people blend those, like people really get those, like they blend them real close together, right? Because it's like you think it's a mix because you play in a different way. Would you ever do it solo? Well, yeah, the reward is definitely the leaderboard spot for sure. Until you wait, but you're missing the star certification. The star certification is like a tier and a half, maybe. So, at the very least, you're missing like about actually not even a tier and a half, like a tier. There's a lot. Well, it just depends. Like, there's not like a big pool of people you're competing against that has that kind of gear already, right? Outside of maybe like the top 10, like I doubt everybody has every saint in every spot that they want, right? Because hell, I'm missing a few saints myself, but I'm okay with that. What are the rewards for towers? Just a leaderboard spot. Dangerous Den, what's going on? Yeah. How do you feel about towers, Danger? At this point, I'm just like, kind of just chatting at the moment. Been playing some, been fighting with my computer. Well, I guess the lag and the stability issues I have right now with streaming and whatnot. But I had zero luck with sanctification. Season 12 waiting room. Did you even bother? Actually, did you even play this season? I think this is like the first time I've seen you like all season. Okay. There's no rank pop up. Nah, you guys don't have the technology is obviously not there, Soda. We just don't have the technology for that kind of stuff, Sato. Sorry. I think that's a DLC quality of life right there. We just don't have. We had it. We had the technology in D3. We just don't have it in D4, sir. Sorry. You have to travel back in time to get that tech. What happened to all the 25 gear after season end? Can you use it in non-season? I think the gear. I think you'll still have all the gear. I guess all the sinks will be gone from the gear unless I'm mistaken. But Alex, yeah, I mean, I can do the 110. I just don't feel like I'm not enjoying the journey to get the 110, if that makes sense. But I know what it takes to do. Another mob type I probably would prefer. Another map type for sure I would prefer. I just don't enjoy the process. Tiles also full of exploits. Also not surprised. But nah. Alright guys. Well, I kind of gave my synopsis of still feeling crossbow for push. I do like the crossbow, yeah. I was gonna try the Sky Hunter just for comparison and stuff, but I just do not like the tower that much. Like, I legit don't like the tower that much. Not that much. Like, I stomach GRs in D3 because I at least liked it when I got a good map. When I got a good map, decent mob type, I enjoyed the gameplay, so I did it, even if I hated the process to get there. We did 2 hours of stream today. Yeah, man, you should stream more if you, whenever you have time to do it. Obviously, of course. Okay, like Puff did it, bro. What are you saying, sir? Please, whatever you're on, share with everyone else. Whatever you're on, whatever's in your cup, sir. Share with the class. That's why I was in the bed. They got work to do. I guess the thing is like, here, okay, Danger. Here's where I don't understand. Here's what's frustrating for me. You're basically taking the Diablo 3 playbook with greater rifts, and you take us back 12, 13 years in terms of quality of life of how to do that. When you have the playbook of all the things and quality of life they added to greater rifts over the years in Diablo 3, and you take us back to the beginning of what that felt like with towers. And we're having to re-experience that all over again in Diablo 4. So instead of just like giving us a different type of competitive play in a sense that they could do, like, hey, hint, hint, Infernal Hordes, for crying out loud, would be great for something like that. But no, they don't want to do that. They want to just import what we've already done for over a decade, and be like, didn't you enjoy it so much in Diablo 3 that you want to do it all over again, but in worse form in Diablo 4? Like, so now we have to wait until it gets to I say wait, but now we have to slog it through ourselves, or slog through it until it becomes into a better state again, all over again, after we waited all these years in Diablo 3 for it to come before it became into a state that we were kind of mostly okay with it. And it still had its problems, don't get me wrong, but it's like, let's not take all the things that we've learned from that, right, all the quality of life that we learned from that, and just remove all of that and start back from fresh where it felt like shit to play, and then do it all over again. And it's just like, I don't understand. Like, I get it if it was brand new content you're trying. If it's brand new and it's like, okay, it's a bit janky, it's wild, it's a new concept, it's, we've never done this, it's like, okay, I'll give you grace because it's new, you're trying something new, like Gauntlet, right? Gauntlet, it was like, I gave it grace because it was new. It was a new shot at something, and I was like, okay, cool. They gave it a shot. I didn't like Gauntlet that much. At least I didn't like the idea of playing around the shrines as much. But I liked the concept of Gauntlet. Just the execution was not great, but it was new, and they tried. And I was like, okay, cool. They at least tried something new. They tried. That's fine. If it didn't work out, okay, cool. But when you take a playbook, when you try to copy and paste 70% of GRs into the next game, and this is the state that is in, it is very worrisome right now. Like, it's very worrisome right now. For me, that is. Because I feel like it's just going to take a while before Tower is in the state that I personally would enjoy playing. But I didn't enjoy watching others play it. Like, I didn't enjoy watching Moody play it earlier when I was like at work and stuff like that, and I couldn't play it. Like, I was not enjoying watching it play. I was not enjoying watching Macro Bioboy play. I was not enjoying watching Fame play. I was not enjoying watching Rob. Like, I didn't even enjoy watching the content before I even started my stream, knowing I'm gonna be doing the same exact thing. That's kind of why I'm just like, you know what? I think I had enough because I've already watched this. I watched it, and now I'm actually doing it, and I have the same thoughts, the same feelings behind it. Hopefully they speed it along this time. We don't have 12 years this time around. Nah. But all these things. I felt like the season chase for items or getting the better items or the best items are actually kind of fun. This season. I will say I've had more fun this season than I had the past 4. You know, season 6, 7, 8, 9. Season 10 was actually kind of okay too as well. But yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, they were all pretty trash. But 11 was actually kind of cool. It just like the climax sucks. I completely understand there have been a fan of pit pushing. It's not that. So you gotta understand, like, I used to do this greater rift pushing for years in Diablo 3. It's not that like I don't know how to do it or I'm not familiar with doing it or it's like I'm not giving it a shot. I've done it so many times in D3 that I know what this is. I know what they're trying to go for, and I'm not feeling it. That's all it is. Like, I'm too old to be trying to do this, to be trying to gaslight myself into thinking I'm having fun with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not pretend GR pushing was fun. And it wasn't. Okay, but by the way, the process was not fun. Getting the right, so after like cursing out the monitor, cursing out the devs, after saying, oh my God, what kind of shit this is, when you finally get the good map with the good mob type, you know, and some decent pylons, it was fun to play. At that point, it was fun. The process to get all of that was absolute shit. But once you got there, it was, at least that was fun. It was fun to play the optimal, like, setup. It was fun. It was fun. Like, it was like, okay, cool. I finally got what I need to possibly be able to clear. The gameplay itself was fun. It was fun to play strategically in Diablo 3 once you fished a ton and got what you needed or got what you wanted or whatever. But the process, you're right, absolutely sucked. The problem here is that, like, I can do the same thing here, but not enjoy the optimal map or the optimal mob type. It all feels the same to me, unfortunately. Like, so it's like, I can't pretend that I like that I'm doing this and think I'm gonna have fun when I get the right map or the right mob type. Like, I'm just not, unfortunately. And so, like, in my mind, I'm like, well, why am I doing this then? At least with D3, it was like, I did it because it was like, okay, yeah, the process was shit, but at least I enjoyed when I got the good map. And when you got the good map and you cleared and like you did well and you dodged all this stuff and there were some, like, you know, slim moments or like that. Like, that felt good. That little thing actually felt good. It almost felt like all the fishing and crap that you had to deal with was worth it. Almost. It almost felt like it was worth it. Right? Here, no, I don't get any of that right now. Morgoth, man. We got something like that. Process sanctification, worst mechanic ever in D4. I actually don't mind sanctification. I actually think that actually kept people playing longer. Like, sanctification came out, like, made us play longer. It did. I think most people would have stopped playing a lot earlier if it wasn't for sanctification. So I'm not saying it doesn't have its pitfalls, but the concept itself kept people playing. And if they want to keep it long term or something like that, if mythics, well, yeah, see that's the problem, Sato. Yeah, mythics were definitely the problem with that. Some other things too, but mythics was probably the biggest red flag. But it kept you playing, I guess. it'd be different vibe if it actually came out at the season start, so you could at least feel the rush of competition when the patch drops. There is that too, sure. I could see that. They should have ported GR from D3 pretty much at the start. They already hadn't. They had already nailed it. They didn't give us something new rather than the worst version of a tower. I think so. Here's the thing: at the start of the game, they tried to pander to both player bases. Right? They tried to pander to both Diablo 3 and Diablo 2. So they did a lot of things to try to satisfy both camps, and then they ended up satisfying neither. All the D2 players stopped playing, which of course, I mean, let's say all D2, but let's say most of the hardcore D2 players stopped playing because, I mean, let's be real, you knew they were going to anyways. Like those who are like really play D2 on like a regular, they're not going to play anything else. It's just how it is. There are other games that are just like that. You know, Smash is the same way with Melee. You know, the Melee enthusiasts would never play any other game ever. There's some Monster Hunter enthusiasts that would never play anything else besides Generations. Like you just have some, like you will always have that class of people who are just going to play, you know, what they grew up with and nostalgic about like that, and they're not going to move on from that, and that's fine, right? But then when they tried to go in both directions and then play these one, and then they realized that all the D2 people are gone, and that some of the D3 people stayed, and so now they started to say now, but for the past year they started to implement more things from D3 and not worry about the D2 crowd as much, and now we are where we are at the moment. I don't think it's combined tower and pit to be like GR. I think the fundamental, like the fundamental way the game plays right now, it simply just can't just be what GR was. Like even the game's mechanics, the way the game feels to play. Don't get me wrong, the combat's good, but Diablo 3's combat feel, like actually control combat feel, is actually better tuned than Diablo 4's. It's considerably easier to, like, you know, pull things and move across the map in Diablo 3 in a sense. And breakpoints and stutter stepping and all that stuff was actually smoother in Diablo 3 as well. The game itself just doesn't lend itself to be able to do a complete copy and paste of GRs into Diablo 4. The so unstoppable mechanic that they have in D4 also kind of, like, I don't say ruins, but really makes the feel of towers and pit kind of feel kind of awful for classes that revolve around dealing damage when crowd controlled. That's why, like in tower, like in D3, it's like you're not just destroying the elites or whatever like that for like a couple of seconds and then all of a sudden dealing like 0 damage the entire time. Like for the rest of the time, like you're, you know, like you just happen to see their, you know, life bar and stuff like chuck over time, so you could feel your progress. In a tower and a pit scenario, it's like, oh man, if you didn't chuck them at first, well, too bad, because now they're unstoppable, and then half the time they won't follow you, and then you feel like your damage just fell off a cliff, and then you just, like, you know, rinse and repeat over and over again. Like that back and forth feels very exhausting, and just doesn't would never make a GR setting feel good. So they have to kind of revamp how that works if they're going to make it feel anything like what GRs felt like. But they're not going to do that anytime. Just got here and the first thing I hear is how bad. What a blame. Danger says, there's only so much RNG I can put up with. I mean, fair. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just getting old. Bring back the Amazon. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just not. This doesn't really excite me as much as it somewhat used to. I don't know. But I'm not the only one kind of complaining about the tower a little bit. But it is in beta. So there is that. But man, like, what a way to, like, take the sales out of the season for me, man. You know what I mean? Like, what a way. Like, I was actually kind of enjoying the season for an extended period of time, and then all of a sudden, it's like this big brick wall. Not even a brick wall. It's just like a, like a. Because like I can, I can still progress, and like I don't have any more tiers to clear. I mean, I can. I'm not motivated to do the thing. Was the second class coming? Any idea? And considering that the whole campaign is going to be based around Scovos Island, which is where Amazons usually reside or from, I thought maybe Amazon, but like they did say it's like a dark class, so I don't imagine Amazon like going to the dark side or anything anytime soon. So yeah, I don't know, honestly. I feel like they're gonna like create lore to kind of make it work with Scovos and like the new class, kind of like Spiritborn. I guess they didn't really create. It was kind of already there, kind of somewhat. They just kind of like added some stuff to kind of make it make sense for Spiritborns and the area that they're in. But yeah, maybe something new, Warlock type. We'll see. Is there a reward for pushing pits within a tower besides bragging rights? Well, yeah, true. But I mean, it gives people something to do with their gear, and like I get that part. I just wish they would have did that on like Infernal Horrors or something, like a content that's something different, that plays different, that actually makes sense with with how the game plays. But I can't get behind this tower thing right now. I might be in the minority about like Gauntlet. I haven't tried Tower yet, but it feels like it's not for me. Actually, so here's the thing, Chaos Factory. I don't dislike Gauntlet at all. I actually thought Gauntlet was an interesting concept. What I didn't like about Gauntlet was that it was so wrapped around shrine play. So like if it wasn't really about like just clicking the shrines and getting the power from the shrines and keeping that power up for as long as you possibly could. If it wasn't for that, I would have played the Gauntlet considerably more. I like the idea of Gauntlet, to be honest. I really did. It becomes funny now because like if Gauntlet exists right now, everybody's playing Death Trap Road. Everybody, because there's nothing zooms faster. But yeah. Yeah. The shadowy image from the expansion trailer kind of look like a warlock from WoW. We'll see. Even if Pit and Tower had like guaranteed 2, 3G, 4G, yeah, I would not motivate you to push higher, to be honest. I don't know. I dislike the lack of creativity putting together the tower, and I wasn't expecting anything different from the PTR. But it's just like I think playing it more is just like, dude, like it's so similar to the Pit. It has its own problems. We're back to early days of D3GRing, kind of, sort of, but worse. I don't know, man. I want to be excited because I want to have I want to have reasons to play. I really do. I want to have reasons to play, but I can't fake it, man. You kind of feel like it is. It absolutely is, man. Because it's technically not even new content. It's borrowed heavily from Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 pits, I guess. And with the beta tag. Seriously though, like I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I crazy to think that why in the hell could they not do something with Infernal Hordes? Why can't Infernal Hordes be the thing? Why can't, waves, adding different difficulties after a certain amount of waves and like make the waves kind of infinite or whatever? Like, that's different content. That's so much different than like what D3 was, and you have to worry about this whole unstoppable bullshit, from mobs and like, and then like, you can add on layers per 5 waves or whatever, and then make it more challenging that way. And things, and then like, like the formula is fucking there, man. Like, dude, like, I don't know. Do you guys remember season 5? Like, y'all remember season 5, right? You remember like season 5 where we had both the pit and the Infernal Hordes, and the Infernal Hordes just came out in season 5, and we were just like, yo, what builds can do T8? It was T8 Infernal Hordes, right? Like, it was actually challenging for most builds. And there were like maybe 2 or 3 builds that like completely annihilated Infernal Hordes in season 5. But most builds you actually had to try. And when you had to try, it felt good. It felt good to have to try. And Infernal, it was fun. Because you actually could die. And it was challenging, and that there was some strategy involved in the in the case in terms of keeping you alive and be able to get the whatchamacallit, so you can open up a chest towards the end. But like, it was, people were making comparisons about builds. It was like, hey, I know this build is okay in pit, but can it do T8 hordes? You guys remember that? Like, that was great times like, in my opinion, that was great times. And I'm thinking, okay, man, Infernal Hordes can really be that content. Yeah, but that was just sort of small amount of people that like challenging content. But that's what the tower is, though, right? Isn't the tower like the challenging content for leaderboards? That's exactly what it is. So if you're gonna do that, why not just take what's already in the game that feels good, that a lot of people liked, and make a competitive part of it? Keep these like they are, and then give us a special, like, I don't know, call it a fancy name or something. I don't know, Chat GPT if the devs need to. Like, I don't know, but like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. I don't. Why give us something we've been doing for over a decade, but a worse version of? Why, man? Why? And the thing about it is that I don't even know if it's like, I mean, is it a higher ups thing? Like, is someone at the top like, yo, bro, I love some GRs in D3, man. We should totally, bring those over in D4 in some way. Is someone like forcing their hand to do this? Like, did they just hate in front of hordes or whatever? Like, I mean, what? Yeah, even the old school Nightmare Dungeons like had some promise, man. I mean, it had its problems, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't really the Nightmare Dungeons that were the problem. It was just like, well, gear, items were a problem. Itemization in Diablo 4 was a big problem at the time. I don't think Nightmare Dungeons were the issue. Gets hit. Feature just I saw your comment, Feature. I'm not ignoring it. This is bad chat. You almost never hear Dark Curse. You recall when we were gaslighted that there never was T8 through T10 hordes. Well, they were thinking about doing it, right? They were thinking about doing it, and then they're just like, nah. We'll get multiple seasons of tower iteration. Well, like I said, obviously it's in beta, and like it's hard to like it's hard to be over. I won't say it's hard to be overly critical. I mean, I can be, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like, yo, it's beta, right? But it's like it's beta of a design that you copy from 2 different game modes. 3 if you want to count Diablo Immortal, because they also did something like this. So you had a blueprint from GR's Diablo Immortal's challenge, rift or challenge, whatever you want to call it there at that time. Then you have the pit, which I guess is a curated version or a D4 version of those 2 events. And they have Tower, which is a D4 version of D4's version of Pit, which is a version of what Diablo Immortal and Diablo 3's GRs were. Like, what is this, man? Like, what is this? Do you hear how it sounds? One thing this group of devs is clear, guys, class design. The Spiritborn powers feel so smooth to play, and aspects of skills and interactions feel deep enough. With that being said, Spectra, I feel like we're kind of cooked until the expansion. I'm really hoping that the expansion really, really shakes things up for a lot of things. If the Paladin is any like confirmation that of how classes could feel, how aspects and stuff and skill trees stuff can be, then it feels like we might be in for something good for the expansion. It's funny, I don't lag here at all, by the way. At least I don't lag much when I'm here. I don't really complain that much, guys. I complain, but not that much. But I am honest, and when I'm like when I complain, I'm honest. I guess I'm just sad because this is the end of my season, like literally, and like this is it. Like I knew I wasn't gonna really probably enjoy Entire that much, but like I thought like maybe a couple of days worth of like, all right, let me adjust this. Let me try this. Oh, this is kind of fun. Let me move this here. Let me do this here. Let me try this. Let me try that. Done with the season, unfortunately. It was fun up until this point, to be honest, even with the which is more challenging content throughout the open world to engage with. They spend all the time creating the open world and then mostly scenes for nothing. Yo, Duster, I don't know if you or anyone else has tried, but like if you just walked around like slowly, like not on the horse where you can't see nothing, like go into your settings and like go and like put everything on ultra, ray tracing and everything if your PC can handle it, and just walk around the entire open world. Just walk. Just like literally just walk. Or, probably with some like, good movement speed. Or like, make sure you have decent movement speed. But guess what? It looks amazing. Like the amount of work and detail they did to like really make every part of the map look different and decent and whatever. I can't imagine the amount of work they did to, they put in for this. It's so good looking. It's such a great looking open world. It really is. It is a shame that there's very little reason to ever walk around like 80% of this open world, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous open world, man. It is. And it's sad that we don't interact with the majority of it. Unless it turns red like this, or we have a blue tide or a green tide or a blood tide or whatever tide that comes out that specific season or whatever, right? But we never really interact with how the world actually looks. And it's so good, man. It's so good looking. It really is, yo. It's such a way. It's such a waste of like the art team talent, man, to have all this. It really is. Anything appreciate the follow. Juggernaut, I see you, man. I see you there. It's what happens when you cater to people who don't like hard content, though. I don't know that what we have right now is like the result of that, but I don't disagree with your statement in general. Of exploring the map at release is probably the most fun to have. Games, it really is. I've updated Monster Hunter for this reason. Yo, we gotta play together sometime, Peachy, because I'm about to do the same thing too myself. Also, Raven, we need to get we need to get into some games and HOTS together. I'm tired of like solo queuing, man. It's just not. It's not happening, man. Yeah, I'm playing since title update too. I'm trying to figure out the last time I played. That might have been it too as well. I think I played when the talisman, I think, the charms talisman. I don't know what they call them. The talismans like first came out. I think I got in and I played like maybe couple of days of that, and then that was kind of it. Open world is useless because content is too easy and not rewarding. It's like playing PoE and going to the first beach map in the game where you're in the end game, and also juice hard maps. Yeah, I think they're trying to address that with more tiers next in the expansion, but I don't know if that's really the fix. I mean, it's something, but I think you just end up doing what happened in D3, where you have 16 tiers of difficulty that you don't care about. But we'll see. I guess roll triple resource cost reduction on your crescent rate. We need to get to Diablo. We need to get to Diablo instead of as long as story that seems like we're gonna take 12 years and 12 expansions to get to. Nope, man. What's gonna end up happening is that like towards the very end, like the end of the story, we're gonna realize that Diablo was inside us the entire time. We are Diablo, and we're gonna get that realization for the very final campaign. Watch. It'll be the biggest middle finger ever, but we are Diablo. That's it. That's gonna be it. You heard it here. Don't get me wrong. You heard it here. Come back in 10 years and be like, you know what, Doc, damn, Docs, I was right. Gonna play off the whole idea of like, Diablo taking over Leia's body and whatever. When in reality, Diablo has taken over us, actually. That's the lore. Man, that'll be some shit, man, for sure. Yeah, so loot filters coming. So finals coming. It seems like there's some really interesting ideas coming for it. I'm just hoping that the base game, like the base game itself, along with these, cool and interesting ideas that they have coming into the expansion, it's gonna actually feel good to play. That's kind of where I'm at personally. But right now, literally, like, I felt my motivation to continue to play this season has fell through the earth, bro. I'm like in China at the moment. That's how far I fell. I'm on the opposite side of the earth right now. We're gonna find a way to disappoint us more than Killer Can and make him like a deal. Oh, by the way, well, this is not NDA. I don't think. So apparently, when they were writing the story, and whoever came up with the concept that Diablo was going to be a female, there's like a big meeting about it. Like 70 to 80% of the people in that meeting walked out. Literally walked out of that meeting when that was a suggestion that was going to happen. Literally, they just walked out. Like it was not even like, it was not. So if you thought that was an idea that was popular, or like, you know, everyone was like, oh yeah, great, this would be a fantastic idea to, you know, to make Leia Diablo, right? No, it was not popular with the majority of the dev team at the time. They literally walked out of that meeting, did not come back that for like the rest of the meeting, just like walked out. I'm just like, nah, like screw this. Yeah. So if you thought we were the only ones that thought that was crazy, no, people who worked on the game thought it was also as crazy. This goes to show you that like there's just some decisions at the higher up that it's kind of yeah. But there she is, right? There she is. What might be more crazy is Zero Diablo. Yeah. Sorry guys. I'm trying to, you know what? My character's tired. He needs to take a seat. Isn't there like a chair somewhere around here? There we go. It's gonna take a seat. There you go. All right. No, stay there. Stay there. All right. We're gonna contemplate this tower. this tower shenanigans. It's just looking bound and imagine vessel change the Lord. What a wokeness. I still can't. I still. I guess Kane dying to a literal butterfly, I guess, didn't hit me as hard as it did most people, because I didn't really play much Diablo 2. So, like, I still thought that was a bit disrespectful, but like I can imagine the people who truly follow the lore that was like really upset about that. I mean, I would be too. This could have came out with a season from. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, why wait, right? The bugs must have been really bad. I think they just wanted to. I think they wanted to just like. Actually, I don't even know what they really wanted to do. Really, I guess it could have been the bugs. I guess it could have been like making sure there was no crazy outliers or builds to ruin the tower experience. But then, like, yeah. I'm a big fan of Diablo. Started Diablo 1, didn't care at all. Fan favorite died to a side character. Well, he was old though, so like, I mean, he probably could have just like tripped and fell, and you know. So, I mean, at that point, you know, anything could have probably anything would have could have killed it. You know, like I you know, he was a bit old, but you know, at least, you know. All right, sorry guys. I know I'm just like rambling at the moment. It's just because I kind of want to. I feel bad because it's like, I know like quite a few of you like, you know, invested some treasure breaches and like, you know, gave a few items for some sinks or whatever to kind of prepare for, you know, a little bit more tower content, and I gave you like an hour's worth at the end of the day, right? So I feel kind of bad. I do feel kind of bad. Split content and release over time to keep people engaged. That's that's why they did it. I mean, to be honest with you though, like how well is that working out though? Like the people who are continuing to play now aren't people who've been playing Diablo for a while, like for a long time though. Like these are like they caught like a much bigger newer player base with Diablo 4 than they usually do. So like, and most of them don't care about the lore because they weren't around for like the rest of the lore, if that makes sense. So like, splitting it like this, you know, who is it really doing it for? If that makes sense. And then of course, when you have competitors, you know, other action RPG competitors or like that, you know, you keep kind of like, you know, dripping the faucet a little bit. You're gonna end up pushing people away for good. But I get what you're saying. I don't know if that strategy is really paying off as much as they would like. But who knows? I don't have the financial figures, right? Not quite sure how many people bought the $65 horse. But doesn't Act 3 against Asmodean forces all good, but to this pink lady. All right. So I'm gonna I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my PC too as well. I can't just like start a new build because RAM is ridiculously expensive. But I especially for one game, but I might invest in like a streaming PC. Like I already have like, you know, something old. I only need like a, you know, GTS 1660 Super just for the NVENC encoder. You know, all it needs like an okay processor, maybe 8 gigs of RAM. And like, that's it. Why would I need more RAM? Oh no, I don't need more RAM. I'm thinking, you know, maybe a dedicated streamer PC might actually help. All the RAM is going to people, so it's going so people can generate slot and not play. Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy how expensive that is, man. Like, literally, like I can sell like one of my RAM sticks and like go buy a house right now. Like down payment of a house. Like they start taking RAMs for down payment at the moment. You can't afford you can't afford, you know, 45, 50, you know, $50,000 down payment. Well, how many gigs of RAM you got? DDR5, right? Right. RAM is expensive right now. So like, I think the thing about it is, I mean, it's like DDR. It's DDR5 RAM that's expensive. DDR4 is not as bad, but I'm thinking like, I think for me is like when I'm saying building like a streamer PC, I'm talking about like literally like a PC that like tech that's like nearly 10 years old. Like I'm not talking about like, you know, anything recent or anything like that. It's just literally gonna do one job, and that is like yeah, used, and that's just like running OBS, and that's it. That's all it's gonna do. It just needs to have an operating system, run OBS, and that's it. That's his only job. It doesn't need to do anything else. The issue with 2 PC streaming is the audio routing. Yeah, I read up on that too as well. I think the thing is right now is that like I can't figure out how to solve any of my other issues I'm having right now when streaming this particular game, other than like possibly just getting a dedicated streamer PC. Like, I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Like, I'm tired of crashing almost every night. I'm tired of having to restart my computer during stream every other stream. And it's only really a problem when I'm playing D4. But unfortunately, D4 is like the game where I spend the majority of my time and do most of my content from. So it's not like I can just go, screw it, I'm not going to play D4 anymore. I can't do that because, you know, maxroll. So, like, you know, and I do want to see where it goes. And I do enjoy some aspects of D4. So it's like, unfortunately, even if this is the only game I have problems with, I have to figure out a way to be able to, like, still do the thing with it. I picked up a Mac Mini last week before RAM prices makes it 5,000. Double has a natural memory leak on high texture. I could be like, that's the thing. I normally run on usually medium settings across the board, and when I was doing that, I was still having issues. It would come a little bit later though. Like, it will like happen like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours into the stream, but it will always occur at some point. The only good opportunity I found was 32 gigs of DDR4 at only 90 euros, but it was 300. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't even, it doesn't even matter like the speed of the RAM for the streamer PC, like, because it's not doing anything besides like the biggest thing, like the most important part of that machine would be literally having an NVIC encoder. The D4 crashes. Well, it's like my D4 will crash, but also my OBS will crash because D4 crashes. So it's kind of like a combination sometimes. But use all the free RAM and then a random program. Yep, pretty much. That's exactly what happens for Duncan. Literally, that's what happens. And it's not really a problem when I'm not streaming because it's like, because I mean, if a random program dies while I'm playing D4, I'm not, you know, I may not even know because I'm playing D4, you know, and there's nothing else running in the background. Whereas with OBS, I don't know because it will just crash and you guys won't be there anymore. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a problem when, you know, the whole streaming part of it. Page filing in Windows sucks. Memory management is just terrible, sadly. All right, well, I'm not gonna hold you guys hostage any longer. You guys, you know, listening to my whining and stuff. I'm really not one to spend this much time, you know, complaining. Usually, I'm like more on the positive side or good vibes, dude. But all right, we will go out to somebody. Styrofoam. I mean, I will.
Panda Glass raided my stream with 61
Yo, dog
views.
son, we just got raided, son.
Panda with the raid.
You know how we do.
Oh, what up,
Drop
sir?
my new beat for these new viewers. Sheezy out.
What up, Panda? How's it going, man? Hate to say it, but I was actually on my way out. So, on my way out of yeah. I saw you and I was like, I wonder how long he's gonna be on. I might raid to him or whatever. But I'm actually on my way out to someone else. But it's all good. You did, there was no way for you to know. I will say, I spent like half of my stream playing Tower and the other half complaining about it. So, thankfully your audience, wasn't around to listen to me rant about the Tower and some other stuff. But I will say that I did enjoy the season, though. Not gonna lie, I only started complaining. Yeah, exactly. You complain a good bit too, man. Panda complaining. That's a sight. I might have to go back and watch your VOD. Panda complaining, bruh. Like you and yeah, Panda has his own rant. Yo, you and Matthias usually have like y'all can find like ways to like make anything look good out of anything. Yeah. Like you can find some way to be positive, like find some way to like not necessarily lie about it by any means. Like y'all be honest about it, but it's just like you will find the good. You will find the good in things. And I generally, if I don't like something that much, something like that, I just generally won't talk about it. Like I won't complain, but I just won't speak much on it. I'll speak on the things I want to talk about, right? Not today though. Nah, man, nah. Like Daishizi was up in here for a bit. Daishizi had to pull him out for a little bit. I couldn't, man. I think it's just like, man, I guess I'm just sad at the overall lack of creativity that the Tower kind of brings about. We have other things that are cool that are kind of almost exclusive to Diablo 4 in terms of Blizzard stuff. And we choose a content to try to mimic and recreate from a game that has done it for over 10 years, 10, 11, 12 years, but do it worse and put it back to stage one and make us literally have to go through the quality of life patches over and over again from when we did in Diablo 3. And it's hard for me to be excited for that again, to go back on the same train again. But that's probably the summary of my rant, I guess. But enjoy Bannock. Bannock's really cool. Cool guy. He's definitely older school Diablo streamer for sure. But yeah, sorry to kick you guys out, but I do appreciate it, Panda, for real. I do. But enjoy Bannock, and as always, till next time.